Just hold it up.
There you go, right there. Yeah.
Just like that. It just folds into place. So
wait,
it's actually,
you need to show us how that works again. I don't think the camera saw it.
So there's your magazine. That magazine identifies as a 15-round magazine, just so you guys know. Just using the left's own terms
identifies.
It identifies. Love it. Yeah.
And it basically folds up, looks like a cell phone in your pocket. So when I'm in formal wear and I'm not actually wearing a holster and I've got to sit around all day, this is a more comfortable way to carry. I do have to clear a chair to draw and things like that. But essentially, I mean, it's really simple. You can just literally pop it in. It's a Glock 19, Generation 4, and folds in half with a 15-round mag.
You ready, gentlemen?
Sure.
I'm ready.
Let's jump
All
in.
right. Ladies and gentlemen.
Watch the T.
Yeah, trying to watch the T. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Daily Carry Podcast, episode number 64 today. And we're excited to have a guest with us today, none other than Teddy Collins, running for Colorado State Senate, an entrepreneur, but first and foremost, a husband, a father, a friend, a good man. And we're thankful to have you on the podcast with us today, sir. And how you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having me here today. This is awesome.
We're excited to have you, so we're excited to jump into the discussion. And we're going to talk more with Teddy, and we're going to have a full interview-style type podcast. But before we do that, our audience has come to kind of know a little bit of a structure that we like to run here. And here's the thing. There's always something or a couple somethings that the whole world is talking about. And we're going to do our best on the daily scroll today to scroll through some of the heaviest hitting, most relevant topics that everybody's talking about right now. So let me pull that up, and we're going to just start working our way through this right now, and let's chat about what's going on in the world. So this is definitely what everybody is talking about right now.
Super controversial right now.
Alex Pretti, the shooting. Let me just start off by saying loss of life is tragic, and if it can be avoided, obviously, all of us would say, let's make sure that we do everything we can to avoid it. I think that there's lots of things here that were very avoidable. But here's the first video we're going to start with. This is one of the more recent videos that has come to surface. And this is a video of Alex Pretti, and it shows him very violently protesting. This is, from what I understand,
spitting.
Yeah, 10 or 11 days ago. Kicking one of the cars of either ICE or Border Patrol. I'm not exactly sure which agent this car represents. Kicked out that taillight. We were talking about that kick earlier.
Yeah. He ran to try to get a hold of the pole. Did you notice that?
Yeah, like that's going to save him.
I don't know what that was about, but
so this is something important. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very pro Second Amendment, and you do have the right to express your First Amendment with your Second Amendment at any time. But if you put yourself in a bad situation like this while armed, you should understand that there's going to be consequences, especially when, in a high heat situation with so much chaos going on, bad things happen. It's a powder keg.
Yeah, I mean, this video, it's literally a felony, what he's doing.
Agreed. He just destroyed government property and resisted arrest from a federal agent. So
what I found really interesting as well is whenever his coat comes off here, you can obviously see that he's armed. He's carrying small to back, and you can see that. You can see it right there. There it is. He's
is he
carrying,
5 o'clock or is he?
Yeah, that's about 5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. Okay.
This what people on the left side of the aisle will argue is this has nothing to do with what actually led up to his shooting, but you got to be able to take everything into context. And if this is the way he's behaving days prior,
we can assume that he behaved in that manner the same way from past behavior.
Very reasonably.
Yeah. And that's the thing about these shoot videos, right, is we only get a brief few seconds. We don't see what leads up to it. We don't see from all angles. We don't understand what the cop was thinking and the mentality, and we don't understand the situation, because in this situation, there's so many people that are yelling, screaming, blowing bullhorns, calling names, cussing, etc. And there's so many people that are armed. The cop's situational awareness has to be he has to be in code orange. He has to be looking around and just wondering who's going to draw down on me, who's going to try to kill me, because we've had ICE agents targeted, we've had them shot at, and they're probably on their guard. And to be honest, he probably reacted versus responded in that situation, to be honest. So, I mean, I've got to give some leniency there, because none of us have been put in I mean, some of us have, but not most of us have been put in a situation where we would have to deal with something like that.
Yeah, very true.
I've been in it a handful of times, and, and you got to tune it out, and you know, you got to be disciplined, focused. There's a lot of things that are going on,
and that comes with that comes with you're seasoned person, right?
Well,
you've been in it for
it's
years.
dealing with it over and over. And I was having a discussion with a guy yesterday, and I'll keep this to 30 seconds, but the guy was all bent over. He's saying one's not the other, and I said, "Look, man," I said, "if you had 30 people standing in your kitchen banging pans, blowing a whistle at you, and a megaphone,
and armed,
and screaming at you, how long would that last in your mind? Stop and just think about that.
Sure,
just in your own kitchen."
Sure.
Like, how long would that go on before you're like, okay, enough is enough? And he was like, well, that's different because it's out in the street. I'm like, but is it really though? Is it really, when you stop and think about it?
Correct. And in that situation, even in the video, you can see that, again, they had the right to express their Second Amendment right to constitutionally carry and open carry. But at the same time, the police, the law enforcement, the ICE agents, they do not know who's a threat and who's not. And they're perceiving that every person in that audience, every person in that crowd that's protesting, yelling, cussing, spitting on them like we just saw, is potential threat, potentially wanting to take their life and keep them from going home to their family.
Yep, you never know.
Yeah, this is and I had not seen this angle up until very recently. This is so the video we just now watched was a couple days ago. That video footage has just recently started to surface.
Yeah, I think BBC put that out, if I remember correct.
They did. Yeah. Newsmax and BBC were on it first.
Yeah, and they did some facial recognition to confirm the identity, so we know it's accurate. I think it's a 98% accuracy is what they said that it's him. Yeah.
And then this angle here shows the actual incident with the shooting, and this is a close-up angle.
So he's on the ground. He's armed. He's resisting, obviously.
I'm with Tom DeBlas on this.
Someone yelled "gun." I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, with how many agents?
Zoom in and see if he went for it or not. I can't tell.
So there was somebody. I don't know if it was on the comments here or what. Yeah. See, so this was on there. Now listen, AI. You never know what's what nowadays, but.
Was it confirmed that he did have a firearm? Because I don't know all the. I'm still looking into this. I don't have all the details.
From everything that I can gather, it's confirmed he had a firearm, and it's confirmed that it went off. That's just what I've heard.
Yeah, because I heard one shot, and then I heard a series of shots. I mean, generally we're taught, to center mass as far as stopping the threat or neutralizing the threat if you're military, but stopping as a civilian. But
earlier he had a phone in his hand, so everybody's like, no, it wasn't a gun, it was a phone. But we know from the other video that this guy was confirmed to be carrying 5 o'clock. And from the reports that have come in, he was carrying, it looks like he's wearing almost the exact same clothes as the other video. And then this is
wonder if it was
still
on the same day or previous day or what.
No, it's this is. I
think it was like 10 days,
10
prior.
or 11 days separate.
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
But this photo shows something in his hand that looks pretty similar. That doesn't look like a phone to me. But
no, it's definitely not a phone. We have to get some clearer images of this to see. But
yeah, I don't know. But he, from what I understand, he had a firearm and it went off. And with how many agents are here, I think that it's just a matter of you hear gunshot and it's kind of just like open season. I mean, for better or worse, I think that everybody's like, "Oh crap, this guy's shooting."
Yeah, and then that's a tough situation, and it was already in a very stressful environment for everybody involved. Yeah, it's a powder keg with a fuse that.
Please continue with Tom DeBlas, because I would also say that I would agree with his take on this pretty largely.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I'm going to go Carolina's 98. We had 3 guys trying to handcuff a guy, basically. And the guy was so violent offender, 3rd strike. He knew he was 25 to life plus homicide, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it was kind of worst case scenario. Car chase ends, guy jumps, runs. They run down, catch him. He goes to the ground and he puts his arms underneath him. Now you can't see, you don't know where the weapon is. They're trying to get a hold of the weapon. And I'm telling you, if you've ever tried to get somebody's arms from the front of them to the back of them, and you have no training, it's like moving sand. It's like trying to hurt a cat in a wet paper bag. It's awful. So I come up, I'm the fourth on scene. These three guys are wrestling. And I just come up and right in the back of his ear, I just dig into it.
Yeah.
And as soon as they hit that pressure point, his arms come out to the side. We get control of it. So there's pain compliance, right? PPCT. Sure. And then there's jujitsu. And what Tom said in review of this video, he said, one guy could have taken care of this while the other one essentially looked for the gun. I mean, like, you could have contained this guy. And it's so true. It just bothers me when I see 4, 5, 6 cops jump on somebody and they don't know what to do, and everybody's going for a limb and they're trying to get control of something. When in the world right down here on the mat, Jared could take anybody down there at any given time and control them as a person. And I think every cop in America, at a bare minimum, should be trained to a blue belt.
Let me clarify that, okay? Because it's not just Jared. I've got teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
Girls, that can do
women.
that.
Yeah.
I got teenagers that can do a really good job of pinning somebody down, controlling somebody, controlling the situation. And to Tom's point, whenever he posted that, the amount of agents that are here, I get it. Tensions are high. And
sure,
I mean,
there's a crowd too.
There's decisions that are made on
and
the
they
fly.
have policy too. I want to defend just that for just a second. They do have policy that there's an escalation force, and so it's man on man or double men and that kind of thing. So there is an element of that has to be considered. Everybody just sees a bunch of guys jump. Yeah. But to Tom's point, and you finish with that, I mean, you got a 14, 15-year-old gal down here that would have tapped him out in a second.
Yeah.
I've rolled with her many times.
The just bare minimum arrest controls that officers are taught is not enough.
No, it's not.
It is, honestly, it's laughable.
Yeah.
It's a problem. And here's the thing. Any law enforcement agent that does jujitsu, I know I have several friends that are black belts that are in law enforcement, and people, they won't listen. They just won't listen. They're like, we go to our AC class, and we do that. We're good.
Sure.
It's like, that is not enough. No. You need to train jujitsu, and you need to know how to control somebody. That is one of the most important parts of your job. That is what's going to save your life in a pinch. Yeah. I mean, that's. I just wish there was an easy way to get more law enforcement to train. I don't know what it would take.
Well, it would be a policy and procedure change per agency. It's kind of like making legislation. You'll speak to this, right? In some point running for Senate, you get on the Hill. You put something into effect. Well, you said it the other day. Max Brooks was here. Hey, what happened with the speed limit? It went from 45 to 35. Just no traffic study, no nothing. You just unanimously put something into play that affects everybody.
Still upset about that.
Yeah,
by the way, Max said he would pay that ticket for you. I talked to him the other day.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Max.
Sorry, Max.
I technically didn't get ticketed yesterday, but boy, did I get followed. But all joking aside, it is one of those things where somebody just did something, and now everybody has to adhere to it. And then the analogy I was giving it was when you have somebody who's the head of an agency, you're also dealing with insurance companies. You're dealing with the byproduct of that. And so you're trying to make the best decisions that you can for your people. Well, insurance companies don't spell jujitsu, much less understand it. Most law enforcement agencies don't know what it is.
All they care about is the dollars and the liability.
They do. And so when you get down to the application of it on the street, they want the end result, but they don't understand how to get there. So to me, when you say I'm not sure how to do it, I think you start with the insurance company side, and I think you start with the leader of the agency, and you bring them together. You showcase what can be done and how it's actually going to not only save dollars, but it's going to save the officers' lives, and let's make it the most important thing, the public. So when you're dealing with somebody who just, you have people that made bad decisions. They just do. They don't deserve to go to the ground. They don't deserve to get, Alex Pretti didn't deserve to die. And that's a twofold thing. One, his choice, he put himself in a bad situation. Yeah. And number two, there's a lack of training. And at the end of the day, both of those can be seen right now by the three of us sitting up here.
100%.
Is this going to change America? Is it going to turn the page? I hope so. Is it going to turn towards what Tom is talking about? I don't know. But they need it. They need it in the worst way.
It's this constant struggle. It is very difficult for law enforcement to be motivated to train. That is my synopsis.
I guess in this scenario, if I were questioning the scenario, and I want to be clear, I'm very pro ICE here, but I am curious to where the taser was in this situation. I didn't see a taser, and I know that the federal agents generally do have tasers, especially ICE and Border Patrol. Now, again, when the gun was shown, escalation of force, you should be a step ahead of the gun, right? Or you have to draw your firearm at that point when someone says gun or you see a gun. But leading up to this, why aren't we using either the wrap that they have now that they can shoot, and then also the taser? It depends on the department, but the bolo wrap.
Yeah, there are factors. Was he wearing a vest?
Yeah, if he was wearing a vest, then the prongs of the taser might not be able to penetrate. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know that he was wearing a vest. He had a vest. He had a pretty sizable down coat on though.
Heavy jacket too. Same thing. May not penetrate.
I was looking at the other video. It looked to me like he was wearing, maybe it was just a 3A or a mimic vest. I don't know. But you don't know that. It's kind of like pulling a BB gun and a regular gun in the dark on a cop. It's like, it
100%.
looks like a gun.
You're going to get,
Yeah. So you got to assume.
We're going to keep on the scroll here. Well, got to get it pulled back up. So this, I just wanted to go ahead and highlight. This was a post that shows all kinds of faces of American citizens. So the post here, the premise is
killed by illegal aliens.
Republicans should protest for Renee Good and Alex Pretti just as hard as Democrats protested for every American citizen killed by an illegal alien. And it shows faces of young girls that have been killed at the hands of illegal aliens. And obviously, this is not all of them, but this is a good amount of them. And I don't like the continued division baiting in this post. I don't like that it's framed that way.
Well, I don't like whataboutism in general, right? Like it's not about whataboutism. It's about the individual situation that's occurring, not what happened in the past or what has occurred. But at the same time, I mean, this post is correct. I mean, why aren't they outraged about these incidents that happened with illegal aliens?
Yeah. I think that we should all be able to find some common ground, and it's just not happening. It's getting worse and worse. And the line is just getting to where it is a Grand Canyon between both sides of the aisle, unfortunately. Here was the original video. Just wanted to go ahead and pull that up to reference it because this was the original video. I think this was the one most people saw.
He was out in the street first.
Of the incident. And I mean, you can see.
And we don't have any of the lead up to this. I just want to point that out. It was conveniently clipped to the start of the incident. We don't have the entire video.
So you see pepper spray deployed there.
Okay, so they did spray him. Yeah.
You see that, and then, I mean, so many agents just starting to dogpile. Dogpiles are not effective. No. If there's one thing I can tell you is that as a jiu-jitsu instructor instructing for a long time, and this is going to be kind of bringing it to a surface level in a very tragic situation. But what I will say from experience is you have guys dogpiling on each other. Nobody knows what's happening, where's
where his hands are. You can't see if he's going for a knife.
Well, you don't even know whose hands you're dealing with half the time.
It's true.
I can tell you just from coaching in kids' classes, dogpile happens, you immediately put a stop to it. You don't know who's on the bottom. You don't know what arms or limbs might be in a compromised situation.
Yeah, I can speak to that from high school football. Things that go down in the dog pile, it's not fun. It's not fun.
If you're on the bottom.
Yeah, if you don't have a cup on, or you're gonna get hit, or they're gonna punch you. They're gonna get in your face mask. It's not fun.
So I just think that in that situation, it should have been brought to, hey guys, everybody else stand back. We need two guys, maybe three guys on this. Not five guys all trying to put hands on. That just leads to quite a bit of
It's very confusing. What a lot of people don't realize is a simple heel hook would have solved that whole problem.
Yeah,
I wonder what the arrest controls look like for those. I don't know what the different arrest controls and procedures are for different agencies, but I know that from what I understand here in Colorado, you cannot put anybody in chokeholds.
You can't.
I don't know about like joint locks. I'm not sure what those look like.
Well, they use a ton of joint locks.
A heel hook will,
Oh, it'll incapacitate you fast, hard, and quick.
That would be rough.
But it would solve that. And what everybody's screaming, and the reason I say, I'm not being funny when I say this, why didn't they shoot him in the leg? Okay, well, why don't we go down and do a heel hook? So explain a heel hook to people so that they understand what I'm talking about. So all that dogpile, so if you watch all that madness, all that chaos, all that danger and the end result, now explain a heel hook to somebody. A one-on-one, one dude on Alex Pretti with a heel hook.
I mean, the heel hook would have been, in my opinion, very risky in this situation because he is carrying 5 o'clock. You don't want to be in a heel hook position on somebody who's carrying
let me back this up.
Sure.
I'm talking about contact cover. So when I say this, you got a secondary officer who's standing there, one guy that goes to the right. So instead of 6 guys going to the ground with him, the reason I went to heel hook is it's an extremity. I could have gone to arm, different things. You don't want to be 5 o'clock down there on the heel hook when the guy's small of the back. But if you have a contact cover, one guy's in contact and the other guy's your cover, he's standing right over the top of him. and he's going to be pistol on, ready to go.
Yeah.
So you're going to have the situation contained if the guy reaches for a gun. This is what everybody's screaming about. What I'm talking about is how you can incapacitate. That's what I was getting at.
I think that the greater plan in this situation, because seeing some of the other videos, Alex Pretti really liked to just kind of drop down to his knees and arms, which we would call a turtle position.
Yep.
If they drop down to a turtle position, the best way to be able to gain control of the situation is to fight to back control or a crucifix position.
Yeah.
That is the best way you can gain control of somebody if they go to turtle. If you can't flip them over easily. So if you've tried to flip them over and they weren't flipping over, back control, crucifix if possible.
Yeah.
But if you're able to flip them over, it's very easy. One person goes to mount, controls both arms. The other person is assisting, but it should just be one person. One person can relatively easily control somebody in a mounted position and hold them down, hold their arms at the exact same time. So this situation with more training and with a little bit more intentionality between how many agents approach the situation. There should have been agents kind of standing by, and one agent or two agents saying, hey, we got this, we're going to get control of him, rather than everybody just like, oh, dog pile, hands on.
And that's exactly, so again, I'm only extrapolating this. I was trying to make a point of having been in this scenario so many times.
Sure.
Even with the heel hook and him and 5 o'clock, somebody over the top, you're gaining compliance. So in other words, put your hands behind your back, and when you start locking that heel hook in and he feels that pressure or any lock control, he's going to have to comply at that point in time because you have the extremity. And that's what I'm driving at. So be it an arm, be it a leg. I'm not talking full-blown jiu-jitsu. I'm just talking about something to where, because when he initially resisted, all you had to do is go to the ankle, take him to the ground. You got to go over the top of him, and you're going to get the hands through pressure point.
It comes down to, and you'll know this being law enforcement, it comes down to adrenaline, it comes down to situational awareness, and it comes down to, well, in our situation, it's easy for us to sit here in hindsight and view this and break it down and extrapolate it, right? And go piece by piece, but at the same time, you're right. The level of training is not where it needs to be in a lot of law enforcement agencies. This is a federal agency in this situation, and they go through their own boot camp and everything. Yep. But I will say that situation, I could understand being chaotic and going wrong because of the situation they're in with how many people were around them, trying to scan the multiple area, trying to control this situation while also looking at your six and making sure no one else is going to come up and hit you over the head with something.
Yeah, my real problem, Teddy, I'm glad you said that. My real problem with this is you had so many people jump that there was nobody on their six. Yeah. You see one guy walking around trying to keep crowd control from a different angle.
100%.
Should have had 4 or 5 guys on crowd control, 2 guys on him.
It was just bad all around.
Yeah,
it's bad all around. Yeah,
and he shouldn't have been there.
Being the black belt in the room, I do feel the obligation to make sure to clarify technique. I will have to say, I think the heel hooks are only something to employ if you are ready to cripple somebody.
Yeah.
Heel hooks don't hurt
until they break,
until it's too late.
Yeah,
and whenever you've got somebody hopped up on adrenaline, they don't know what a heel hook is. They're going to try to defend. They're probably going to defend the wrong way. They're gonna jack themselves up. If you're just looking for control, that's going to be from the positional hierarchy in jiu-jitsu.
That is true.
If you're fighting for your life and it's one-on-one, it's very different. You're breaking everything. You're doing everything you can. You can use different things like maybe an arm bar to hold them in place or a straight ankle to hold them in place. But those positions that are offensive are not the best positions for maintaining control. There's a reason why we say position over submission.
Yeah, good point.
So I would just say that would have been my approach if I was trying to tell the guys, hey guys, I've got this. I'm gonna take care of I'm gonna get him in control. I would have tried to dump him over from back control first and foremost and tried to mount him, control both arms, or would have tried to take in his back, both hooks in, eventually work the crucifix if I can, control him that way. Because back control, mount, and crucifix, these are positions where you can control both of the arms. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried so much about the legs if I can control both of the arms and I have his torso pinned and under control. So that's what I would say should have been the immediate response from whoever had the most ground experience in that team. Unfortunately, that's not what we saw, but hopefully lessons can be learned.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We'll see. But moving on here, we're pretty much done with the scroll. We've covered pretty much everything. The one last thing we were going to talk about, just from a surface level, was going to be this is kind of cool. This is definitely bringing it to a different.
So this is new for me. I'll have to watch it. Yeah.
So Elon Musk on the Tesla Cybercab today, it does not have a steering wheel or pedals. It either drives itself or it does not drive. Unless it's got like pop-up pedals or a pop-up steering
It
wheel.
actually looks really good too.
It looks pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's got scissor doors. That's epic.
It looks like a
Now, can I buy one of these with a steering wheel?
it's a crossover between a Jag and a Ferrari.
Right.
And a Cybertruck.
It almost
Cybertruck.
I get a little bit of DeLorean vibes from that.
Do you get the
Yeah,
DeLorean?
yeah,
John DeLorean revisited?
100%. 100%. It's a little Back to the Future, but more modernized. It's good looking.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
Those wheels and tires are interesting with the full-on
The window,
silver
do
chrome
y'all see
type
the
thing.
back window is is the same color as the car? How did they do that? That's
That
interesting.
is crazy.
Yeah, maybe there's no rear view mirror because it's self-driving.
Sure. My buddy Joe's
Interesting.
going to have one in his garage tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was good to come up for a breath of fresh air on just
absolutely.
talking about that for a second. But guys, let's dive into a hot take and a cold truth on what's going on in the world today. What do you guys think is causing a lot of these problems, and what do you think the truth is behind how we're going to fix some of these problems?
Gosh. You want to go first?
I mean, division, obviously. Politics has become a religion for some people, and they're so entrenched in their ideology that they see the other side as their enemy versus a fellow American. It's the problem of our society. It's the reason why things are getting so out of hand, getting so violent, is because instead of having tough conversations like what Charlie Kirk was calling for, now we're just shutting down the other side, not listening to them, and basically considering them to be evil.
Is that why you're running for Senate?
It's one of the main reasons.
Get in there?
It's one of the main. There's a lot of other reasons. I mean, one of the main reasons as well is my daughters. They just had a threat at their school the other day, and there's not a single armed guard on at an elementary school with 400 children. Not even one for the entire district.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
Well, that goes back to my story before we were talking off air when we had a contentious school board meeting here with 20 people inside and they had 7 cops. It's
Well,
like, what?
There's no excuse for this. They say it's like, so I'll give you an example. The first day I found out that there wasn't an armed guard at the school, I went to the school board, I went to the principal, and their response was, we don't have the funding for it. And I'm like, how do you not have the funding for it? You have the funding for laptop computers, you have the funding for tablets and all these other things. You have the funding for a social worker, but you don't have the funding for armed security. I mean, we protect everything that's near and dear in our heart with firearms. We protect our valuables. We protect our banks. We protect even post offices in the metropolitan areas, but we can't protect our kids. It's insanity. It's insanity to me.
Yeah, well stated. I think it's feckless leadership, term limits that should be in place that haven't. We got guys that have been in there 50 years.
Yeah. I signed the term limit pledge the other day. I'm 100% for that.
Amen.
If I can't accomplish what I do in my terms,
Yeah.
then I'm out. And that's fine. Hell, if I can't accomplish it in my first term, I'm not going to run again.
Yeah. Feckless leadership, term limits, and then I think you said it. Just people are baptized into the politics right now, and it's the louder you scream, the more you yell, the more you're going to be heard. And the reality is, you're not.
We've lost God, and we've come to false idols. The elephant and the donkey, and that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing in this day and age.
I'm glad that you said feckless leadership because I don't think it's just from the top down. I think that men have lost the spine to lead themselves and lead their families, and they're wanting somebody else to tell them what to do. They're wanting somebody else to tell them what's right and what's wrong rather than actually standing up and going and figuring out what's true. What am I on this planet for? And leading themselves.
That's a great point because let's be honest, our school systems, they train us to be followers. They train us to be worker ants. They don't train us to be entrepreneurs anymore. They don't train us to be trade individuals or to start small business. They train us to be listening for what to be told. And that's a problem. We need leaders. We need to train our next generation to be nonconformist.
Yeah.
Like Noah.
Well, and I was, so I've got age on you guys, but when I went to high school way back in the day, in the mid 80s, we had the 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yep.
That was the running joke: reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yep.
I wasn't alive yet.
You weren't alive. You weren't even a thought. And, but we also had electives. And what was very interesting is you had to have a minimum of 3 electives, which means woodworking, metalworking, swimming, something. You had to have, and we had like 40 options.
Correct.
You ever looked at the electives nowadays? You ever try to find them?
Exactly.
They're non-existent.
You can't do that stuff anymore. I mean, I'll even, so I don't like to use Europe as an example, but I'll use this as an example. In Europe, in high school, you essentially have freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
After that, you graduate and you either go to a trade school or you go to a college for 2 years, which will either teach you a trade or teach you academics to go to an actual university, depending on which way you want to go. Not everybody's set out and meant for college. Some people are meant to learn a trade. Some people are meant to learn a livelihood or learn to invest. These are things we're not teaching in schools. It needs to be changed.
Yeah, they do it in South Africa too. Same thing.
Yeah. It's pretty effective. I mean,
It is
you
effective.
you don't have as much homeless
Yeah.
in a lot of these places. You don't have nearly the amount of homeless because people learn a skill set that can actually provide a living for them.
Yeah, we've social interest, special interest ourselves to death.
I agree.
$1 trillion a year spent on what? Welfare.
Somali daycares.
Somali daycares.
Oh, imagine we need a Doge Colorado, guys. I mean, if they found that in Minnesota, imagine what's going on here in Colorado. We need a Doge the state.
Amen.
We need to find out how much waste and fraud is going on. In fact, well, there's a whistleblower that might be coming out about Polis here soon. We'll talk about that later. But yeah.
I hope so. So we had Victor Marks on the show, as you know.
Yeah.
And he said he's actually in talks with somebody that is on the Doge team federally.
Okay.
And that's one of the first things that they want to do if they get in is to Doge Colorado.
I'm gonna go through when I get those documents, if I make it in the Senate, guys, which I think I'm going to do this, and I think it's going to happen. I'm going to go through every single piece of legislation that's been passed in the last couple of years. I'm going to go through everything I can and look for waste and fraud because it's there, it exists, and I know it does.
I'm going to get on your detail. Man,
Yeah.
let's make that announcement right now. I'm going to.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're going to need somebody.
I feel safer already.
You're going to
man,
need
not
somebody
gonna
on
lie.
your six because you go in looking for that. You're going to become a target quick.
I don't doubt it.
So-
I'm not a politician, guys. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a father of two with a third on the way. I have a son due in March, my
Amen.
first son, thank God. I joke with my wife because my household is I literally take care of my elderly mother. We have a friend that we rent a room to that's also a female, my wife. And then I have my 2 daughters, and I've got 5 female dogs and a bunch of cats.
So you're swimming in the estrogen ocean.
That's what I'm saying. So I joke with my wife that secretly at night I'm conspiring with my unborn son to take back the house one male at a time. So that's what we're doing.
I got a flip side. I got a flip side to this. I got to share. So
All boys.
my wife, I do have a daughter.
Okay.
Amen to that. But I have a wife, my beautiful bride with her cancer. Tough bout.
I'm
two
sorry to hear
types.
that,
Well,
man. God bless.
thank you. But there's the funny part is her estrogen is shut off because it's cancer fed.
Yeah.
And so I get the polar opposite in my house. I now live with, I don't know what I'm going to get. Sometimes I get this, the Jaina that I've always known. And sometimes I just get punched.
Well,
And I'm
keep
like,
going
what
the
just
prayers,
happened?
man.
And she's like, yeah, I became a dude and I want to box right now. And I want it. And it
That's
flips
what
on a dime.
jiu-jitsu's for, right, man? That's what the mats are for. No, God bless that, man. And I'll keep your family in my prayers.
She's an amazing person.
She's fighting.
We're 4 years in and doing great.
God bless.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
God bless.
All right, guys, let's have some fun.
That was fun.
Everyday
I
carry.
can't let Jana listen to that though. I'll be in trouble.
Don't worry. Our wives don't listen to the podcast, as we know too well anyway. So
Do they listen to us at all? Yeah.
sometimes, every once in a while.
Jared's driving a pink Jeep. I'll just leave it
Is he?
there.
Hey man, real men wear pink. We'll get you
That's
a pink
right.
pistol to
Never
go with that
forget
pink
it.
Jeep.
Yeah.
You shoot
'Cause
somebody
my
with
truck,
a pink
my
pistol,
truck's in
that's
the
insult to
driveway. I
injury.
got to put the new starter in there. Okay, I'm just running a little behind, and
Yeah.
we'll get there. But for now, yes, pink Jeep. But so that is my everyday drive right now is pink Jeep. But hey, it's at least a Rubicon. Okay,
Hey, there you go.
It'll go places.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
it'll
hot, man.
go
Not
wherever
gonna
I
lie.
want.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I dig that.
Online. Listen, I'm carrying the same as I was just a few episodes ago. This is kind of my tried and
Okay,
true. This
okay.
is a original P365. Got a Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops here, and nothing too fancy today. But if there's one gun that I was going to have to actually shoot in a comp, I would probably go to this just because I've shot it more.
365 or what are we? What
This
is
is just a first generation. This was the very first 365 that even came out.
the
This is
standard.
not the XL. This is not the fancy ones. I do have now as well. I have the X Macro, and I like
Sure.
to carry it every once in a while, but I still find myself just going back to
Sure.
365, just the regular one. I like the sights. I'm comfortable with it, and I can shoot very comfortably with this gun.
Sure.
I'll put
nice,
it at that.
Nice.
So,
No, 365 is a great model. It's the most popular concealed carry model on the market, depending on which version, of course. You know, you've got the macro, the XL, the X, and then the standard. But yeah.
yeah, mine's standard. You've got some fancy stuff, so I'll let you go last, okay?
Well, today I'm a little dressed up. I've got some events I have to go to after this, so I'm a little bit more formal. Generally, I do carry, I carry old school FUD 5 o'clock. I'm not an appendix carry guy. I got too much of a gut for that, unfortunately. But I generally do carry either a Staccato CS or Staccato C. Today, though, I brought my Foldy Glock. So pretty sweet. Some of y'all have probably never seen these.
Can you put
before.
this up on pull?
Just-
pull-
just hold it up.
There you go,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
It just folds into place. So
Wait,
it's
you
actually
need to show us how that works again. I don't
Yeah.
think the camera saw it.
So There's your magazine. That magazine identifies as a 15-round magazine, just so you guys know. Just using the left's own
It
terms
identifies.
here.
It identifies. Love
that
it.
way.
Yeah.
And it basically folds up, looks like a cell phone in your pocket. So when I'm in formal wear and I'm not actually wearing a holster and I've got to sit around all day, this is a more comfortable way to carry. I do have to clear chair to draw and things like that. But essentially, I mean, it's really simple. You can just literally pop it in. It's a Glock 19, Generation 4, and folds in half with a 15-round mag.
That's crazy.
Have
you ever seen one of those before?
I'm buying 2 tomorrow.
I've never seen one of those
they're
before.
discontinued. The guy that
What's
invented
that?
this.
Is that one for sale?
No. They're kind of rare. So, I do own a gun store. I own one of the largest family-owned and operated gun stores in the state.
What's it called so everyone online knows and hears what's it called?
Spartan Defense out of Colorado Springs.
Please tell me you don't own a lifted Tesla.
I'm that guy.
I
I'm the guy
love
with
it.
the tactical
I'm just
Tesla. I
kidding.
support Daddy Elon. But
I was a joke. I love it. He does. When you said it, it didn't ring a bell with me.
Yeah.
And then when you described it, I was
You're like, I've
I
seen
know
that. I've
exactly
seen
what
that
that car
thing.
is. It is way cool.
we went viral on it, and that was the intent, right? Like, it was just a big meme car, and that's what we intended to do with
Yeah.
it. So we lifted it, put AT tires. Right now, I got my ice spike tires on it with the metal studs. We got it lifted 2 inches. Got a big old brush guard on the front, and it's all wrapped in camo with guns in our store on the side. So it says saving gas for guns on the back. You gotta love it.
Love it.
Gotta love it.
I do love it.
Another little backup gun that I sometimes carry in a.
You got to hold it up for the camera.
Yeah.
I
So
got you a little zoomed.
this is the switch gun from Standard Manufacturing. And my gunsmiths, because we do a lot of custom work, actually installed a pocket clip on this so that it looks like a knife when it's in your pocket, but just hit the switch. And now you got yourself a little 22 mag with 5 rounds that's a little backup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's enough for a belly gun to get the job done. It's definitely not my primary carry. I call it the noisy cricket. And, I like to change my knives out. I actually started as a knife guy. So, Benchmade.
Oh, you got to do that
limited-
whole thing again, but you got to do it in the camera.
There you go.
Benchmade limited edition. Yeah, it's my fidget spinner, is what it is. I like my knives. Benchmade is one of the best American-made knife companies out there. I love them, and Microtech. Big fans of their stuff. I do carry their stuff a lot. I am guilty of getting high on my own supply, as they say sometimes. But
You carry what
it is what it
UTX with Microtech? What do you use
So
to find yourself carrying?
Ultratech is what I generally carry. Is an Ultratech. I do have a combat Trojan as well, but usually an Ultratech. I've got my Boba Fett that I love.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd. I'm a big Star Wars guy. Is what it is.
I like to carry the UT85 personally.
When you pull that
It's not-
microphone,
that's a small one, but it's not.
Yeah.
I got my wife.
We're
with
on
us.
knives, Micah. Sorry. He said Microtech, and I was
know,
just like, oh,
Jared
man.
just like, will you grab your 22 again? Put it up
absolutely.
in front of the camera.
Absolutely.
Just without pulling it out. I just want people to look at that's a gun.
Yeah, that's a
So
22, 22 mag.
So when somebody sits here and critiques this stuff,
Yeah.
and all this screaming and yelling,
Yeah, this could be a gun.
that could be a gun.
Yeah, there's also, I mean,
And
this
that could
this,
be.
This looks
It
like a
is.
cell. That gun right there looks like a cell phone in your
Yeah.
pocket. It does not look like a firearm, and you would never know that's a firearm. And the best thing about this is with this, I don't need a pocket holster.
Yeah.
Because it actually covers the trigger completely, and there's no way for the trigger to fire with it out of battery like that.
We'll
So
make a
pretty
lot of
sweet.
stuff go viral today from this discussion, but I want that.
Come, you know what?
I want that
I've
to
got
be-
a private range at my ranch in Larkspur. You should come out sometime.
Oh,
and
we'll
I've
come-
got. If you think this is cool, this is the surface level guys.
Say less. We'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm in. But I genuinely did want to make that point, and I wanted people to understand.
Sure.
Cops, when you're questioning something, why don't they know? Why don't they see this? That's 2 examples. Why right there,
Exactly.
and I could give you,
Exactly.
and I could show you 10 more
Exactly.
on things that I've got that are just like that, where people are like I would have never known. And so take your foot off the gas over there on progressive left, and just understand you don't know what you don't know.
It's a dynamic situation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be able to de-escalate.
Absolutely.
All right, what you
Absolutely.
packing, Micah?
Oh, I just straight up Springfield Hellcat and the same 2 knives that I always carry. I got nothing fancy.
man.
That's tried,
So,
true, never mouthed.
have
I've got 4 of them.
That's so Springfield, of course, American company. Those are made in Croatia. I've got a very good friend that lives across from the factory. He's a former Croat Special Forces guy, and I bring him down almost every other year to do knife training because that's what he specializes in. I'll have to introduce you to this guy. You'll love him. His name's Dean.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, he's badass.
Will you pull that back? So I know when I was at Richland County Sheriff's Department down in Columbus, South Carolina, FNN was down
Yeah.
there. We used
Yeah,
to be we were the trial agency for everything they brought out. So we were seeing stuff that was 2 and 3 years out. We were testing it on the street. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Very cool.
All right. If it popped off tonight, what are we doing? Are we prepared? The situation we're laying out right now, somebody kicks in your front door. Go.
Claymore.
Claymore. You got one rigged. I don't know if you're allowed to admit that, right?
No, I do not. I do not do anything that would be subject material. No,
Take him off the
joking.
list.
I'm joking. No, I am a
You're
Type
talking
7
about
SOT
a dude,
manufacturer.
right? Clay Moore.
Yeah, Clay Moore. No,
He's my bodyguard.
I'm joking.
Clay
I'm
Moore.
joking. But no, for me, as far as what I would grab, is that what we're asking about? Like, what would be my go-to
Situation is in the middle of the night, somebody kicks in your front door. What's your
You're in
standard
zombie
operating
land, man.
standard operating procedure? You have kids,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
probably just posting up is not a great
No.
option. You got to sweep. You got to.
My breaker box is in my master bedroom. I shut the breaker off. I put on my ops core helmet with my night vision, and I go sweep the house with a integrally suppressed scorpion.
Good.
Broke into the wrong house today.
Not my house is not the house.
Yes.
And
And
I'll tell
Scorpion's
you-
a good run gun too.
And if you think I'm a good shot, my wife can outshoot me. My wife is a better shot. She might be 7 months pregnant, but
Most women are. Actually.
you would want to encounter me versus her.
Man, I love that, and I love that you and me are on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing my Scorpion.
Yeah.
It's loaded up with
There you go.
35 rounds.
PCC and house man.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about going through a bunch of walls.
That's
it makes
right.
sense, and it's not that loud.
Yeah, I love my Scorpion, and that's exactly what I'm grabbing if I've got to clear my house if the situation goes down.
Do you have Gen 3 or what do you have 3 plus,
Yeah.
3 standard, or
Yeah,
which one do you
I've
have?
got the one that is I got two of them. I have the carbine model.
Sure.
That's not the one that I keep
Sure.
ready to go for home defense. The one that I keep ready to go from home defense, I think, is the Gen 2.
Okay.
And it's the backpack model.
Nice. So you should definitely come by the store because I have one of these left. Have you seen the? Sorry, I don't want to get too off topic here. I'm being a gun
run.
nerd. Have you seen the Innovative Arms integral suppressor for that? That's
No.
what I have on mine. Okay, so it replaces your handguard with an HB Industries handguard, and it has a case suppressor that literally clears the handguard just slightly.
What?
Uses a integrated barrel that's been ported that enters into an expansion chamber. It slows the round from sonic speed to subsonic without having to use sub. So it's super quiet.
No way.
And really good for home defense because it's a sub and not a full velocity, 1,200 feet per second round. Yeah.
I'm glad they dropped that tax stamp. At least I'm gonna
Come
save
by.
$250.
Come by and
but
talk to me, man. I'll get you one. They're sweet.
I have
They're
a
sweet.
Sig Mod X on it right now.
Okay.
And it does the job, but it's still pretty loud. So
Well,
that sounds way better.
That's a great.
I'll let you shoot mine.
That's a great running gun.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
A lot of people, if you've never run one,
is.
they're fun. My wife and I triangulate together. We train together.
Smart.
Yeah. So
Smart.
she's got a couple options, but she'd probably run Remington 870. We actually run bird, double dot lead.
Yeah.
Because she wants to be able to spray coming up the stairs, and then I triangulate to the other side.
Sure.
And then I've got a myriad of.
No,
things
that's
that I would
good.
run.
That's good.
Yeah.
You should be practicing tactics like this. And honestly, when people say, what distance to practice for home defense, practice whatever your longest hallway is what I tell people, or whatever the largest space in a room is.
We train 50 feet in.
Smart.
50 feet in.
That's about right. I mean,
yeah.
15 yards, 45 feet, average self-defense shooting, but home invasion is a little different, 3 to 7 yards on average. I think 90% of of self-defense shootings are at that distance, but yeah.
I can't imagine why we would want a senator who is an honorable man, who's swimming in the estrogen ocean, who's a good leader, who owns a 2A endorsed store, who drives a Tesla to save the environment, who also is.
I'm a Teddy Roosevelt Republican when it comes to
me
that.
too.
Protect our hunting environment, man. Make sure there's still trees and wildlife.
Any guy that'll climb on the back of a moose and go across a lake gets my support. Teddy
badass,
Roosevelt.
dude.
Yeah, dude. Back
Took
in
a
the day.
bullet and went through a speech for 60 minutes
Yeah.
with a bullet in his chest.
Yeah. Yeah, people
man.
need
They
to
don't
read.
make them like that
People need to
anymore.
read history books. People
They do.
don't understand.
They
that.
do.
Yeah.
We'll just ignore the whole bull moose party thing. That was kind of a messed up thing, but his first 2 terms, good president.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
was fun.
Let's deep dive a little bit. That was a fun conversation. Let's dive into some deeper conversation. Just there's a lot going on, as we've already kind of talked about earlier in the episode. But let's deep dive into one specific question and let's try to answer honestly. And that is, what do you think is driving the majority of the anger in this country right now? What do you think is driving anger in this country? I'll start first.
You
I
start
guess.
because there's a lot of silence right there. I got 10 things.
I'll
I can
start
think
first.
of.
I
We got a
really,
few
I
things. We already talked
truly
about the
believe
politics, but yeah.
we did. We talked about the politics, and I believe that that's a part of the problem. But what's driving the anger, I think, is because so many people are just wanting to rely on somebody else's take and just run with it. They need people need to formulate their own opinions, and they don't need to let other people cause further division. It's the division that's making people angry, but the division is being caused because people are not coming to their own conclusions. They're counting on somebody else's take on things.
I agree.
You know,
And you know what the biggest catalyst for this is? Social media.
Yeah, lack of critical thinking in social media.
Yes, because people are groupthink. They're in their echo chambers. The algorithm shows what they want to see, not what they need to hear.
Yeah,
and that's one of the biggest problems. Like I mean, yes, there's going to be some people that are going to see this podcast on the left, and they're probably not going to be too happy with me or too happy with you guys. But at the same time, it's mainly going to get shown to our own side, and that's an issue because of how things work. I also think over medication in our society. I believe people are over medicated. I think that leads to psychological mental imbalances, and it messes with the natural chemistry of the body.
Yeah,
in a lot of cases, we're too quick to medicate.
It's a good take.
No, that's a great take. I would just echo what you guys said. I've said, I'll pick it up. I think this is the downfall of man. I do. I think that this right here, this tiny little device, the phone specifically. So nobody leaves home without it. Everybody's on it. Everybody uses it. Everybody streams through it. Algorithms changed. I just got an update on my phone because it constantly keeps you having to keep up
Engaged.
with it.
It's addicting.
Well,
it's an addiction.
But just the changes on that simple last update. Now my photo thing works a little bit different. My swipe thing works just a little bit different. So it's constantly making my brain have to adapt to it.
Correct.
As opposed to the other way around.
It's a very good point.
Is it a necessary and functional tool? Absolutely it is. It's part of my EDC. It's just like my truck. It's I mean, all of my stuff comes together. But there's people that just live through this. And that to me is we're lost. And it's telling you and it's teaching you to disconnect. I mean, so you want to be a bad leader in the family? Go into a restaurant, watch four people in the same family sitting there on a phone when the dad should be saying, hey, let's put these down and be a family today. Just something that simple, except for we don't do it. And this is 24/7, 365.
Yeah. So, I mean, my kids aren't old enough to have a phone yet. So I do have a smartwatch so that if there's an emergency, like they can do an SOS, call me, call the police, things like that. But that's it. They don't have contact on social media or anything like that. Not going to allow them to do that until they're at least a teenager. And at that point, it's going to be very controlled. But that's a rule we're going to set to impose, is that family time is family time. When you come in at home and you're here with the family, that phone goes away, and you maybe you get it out at the end of the night to check to make sure you get your contacts and stuff like that. But for the rest of the time, no, you don't have that phone. Got to take a break from these things.
And it's last I looked, it was 7 billion people have one.
That's insane.
7 billion.
Pretty much even people in small villages and tribes across the globe have them now, man. It's insane.
I went through South Africa. My wife and I, she does business over there, business partners there. We travel over there. We were there in October. And
you ever hunt over there?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, safari hunting.
Oh, no.
What do you do?
Men.
Oh, people hunting.
Yeah, people hunting.
I hear that's expensive. No, I'm just kidding.
I hear it pays well.
Pays pretty good. I've got a very dear friend of mine has the largest. Let's just say he runs the counter poaching and the counter human trafficking.
Good. There's a lot of that over there. The poaching's the worst. Like, don't get me. There's sanctioned hunts. Those are the ones.
No, we're not talking about that.
But poaching, that's bad, especially going after rare and endangered species.
So when they go after the rare and endangered, it's not just the species. It's actually they're going into the villages and they're kidnapping the kids and they're holding the kids ransom so that the people don't report back to the government. They're holding the kids. They go get the animal. They come back. They release the kid.
You know, that reminds me. And do y'all mind if I just kind of spiel something real quick? That's important. So the Protect Kids Colorado petitions are out there. Are you guys familiar with these?
Yes.
So I'm actually the only candidate in my race that's carrying these petitions with me, that's getting people to sign up for this. The deadline for that is February 7th. That's where they all have to be signed and notarized. They're about 20,000 signatures short, guys.
Wow.
They need help. Well,
badly. I know we're banging it at our church. It's out there. It's on a table every weekend, and people are signing up like crazy.
I guess what more can we do? Could we do would you guys be willing for your podcast to maybe set up a sign-up location at your church and advertise it so that people can come out and sign those petitions?
We will do anything and everything we can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We are deeply involved in our church, just so you know. I mean, we've got multiple people doing that very thing right now.
Okay, so great. And just for the viewers that are listening that don't know about that, go check out Protect Kids Colorado online. There's 3 petitions that are going out there right now. 1, life sentences for human trafficking of children. Second would be banning sex changes, essentially, or sexual surgery, irreversible sexual surgery on minors. And the third one is no boys and girls sports, which is something I'm a huge advocate for as a father of 2 daughters that are worried about their scholarship potentials and things of that nature in the future.
Amen. Yeah, we just got a mobile pregnancy testing unit at our church to where you can
Okay.
go. I mean, in a good way. So
Understood.
like
In a
you
good
can,
way.
in a healthy way.
Gotcha.
To
I
where
thought you meant at school. I was like,
no. The kind where you can come in and you can get counseling, and there's a safeguards
An
and all that stuff.
alternative to the other
The
thing.
flip side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100% flip side of it, and I think it's going to be a very, very
That's
good
great.
thing. Yeah.
No, that's doing the Lord's work right there. And that's something that we need. We need alternatives because I don't want to get too much into that topic, but I will say that too many people use the alternative as birth control, and it's not birth control, it's murder.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
All right.
Sorry, guys. I got off the rails here.
Red flag, green flag. Biggest red flag we're seeing, but also the biggest silver lining, the biggest green flag that we're also seeing right now in the world. Obviously, there's a lot going wrong. We've talked about a lot of red flags. Let's talk about red flags and green flags.
Red flag and green. I think the red flag is what we're seeing play out on social media. The green flag, the good, the silver lining it is we are raising. So you weren't here for the previous episodes. I said 40. So Trump has to win in 45. He has to lose in 46 for 47 to happen. We had to go through the test drive lunacy of 46.
Sure.
I think society went through the test drive lunacy. And there's people on the other side, progressive, hardcore people that are definitely still pushing it. But there's a wake-up call in a much younger generation.
There is.
And I'm gauging it. I gauge it in. So I coach hockey. I teach a lot, and I do a fair amount through our church activities and training ministries. What I'm seeing is this 12 to 16-year-old group of critical thinkers right now.
Nonconformists, and that's what we need.
And I think that's the silver lining. I think that's what's coming.
This is shown, by the way, through the DMV, because in Colorado, when you sign up to register, you get signed up to register to vote in the DMV, and unless you're paying attention, they register you as unaffiliated. That's why 50-something% of Colorado is unaffiliated, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what we're seeing now, and this is some hope, this is some silver lining here in the state of Colorado, is we're actually seeing Republicans outpace Democrats on youth voter registry for the first time ever. That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
That's a big deal. We can take this state back. This state is not lost. People always ask me, it's useless. Our vote doesn't count. Well, let's make it too big to rig. Let's have hope. Let's have optimism. Let's pray, and let's show up, because God doesn't help those that don't help themselves.
Yep.
Get involved.
Yep.
I love that. Great green flag right there. And I would say this, for a red flag, it's very obvious that there's a lot of bad people out there that are fueling division, fueling hate, and they're wanting this breakdown and this freak out and this reaction that's just going to continue to lead to more conflict, more polarization, more division. But I also love that my green flag, what I would call to attention, is good men that are standing up for what's right.
Yeah.
One of them sitting right here, another one
Appreciate
sitting across from me, and we've had Victor Marks on. We had Max Brooks on this last episode. We're supposed to have, hopefully, we're working on getting Scott Bottoms on. We're working on getting Jason Mikesell. We're working on getting, there's so many good men that are wanting to stand up for Colorado, stand up for the next right thing. And that's a green flag to me. People have not given up. I think the opposite. I think there's a lot of people wanting to stand up for righteousness and stand up and do the right thing, protect children, protect women, protect rights, and get rid of a lot of the division. And I think that that's something that really needs to be focused on, is how can we just unite people?
But I got to say, don't expect someone else to do it for you. Right?
Absolutely.
You've got to show up too. You've got to be the next generation of leader, or you have to support those leaders that are going to win, right? Whether it's donating to their campaign, whether it's showing up to a caucus, whether it's going out and door knocking, you've got to help these people win, because without people getting involved, it's not possible. But if you show up and if you put in the time and if you join the battle, we can win this. We just need your back. You need to get our backs, and we need to have your backs.
Well said.
Yeah, I often say, I can say it to you, I can't understand it for you. And then my wife, as a therapist, says, I can't work harder on the problem that you're coming in for than you're willing to work on. And I take those two things to heart all the time, not just because we say them, but because I believe it to be true. If you're going to engage, you got to be willing to stand the ground and be able to face evil and get into the fight. And we have so many people that just think it's somebody else's job. Somebody else is going to do it for me.
Yeah.
And my wife will tell you, when you're coming in for counseling, I'm here for you, but it's your journey. I'm going to help you walk that journey, but you got to be willing to step into that fight. It can't be just coming in here, putting a Band-Aid on something and then walking away and calling it good. And I think we see way too much of that right now.
We do, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. That's why we need real people running for office, whether it's, I'll tell you, a good friend of mine, Ava Flanell, big, huge 2A influencer. I don't know if you know of her, but honestly, I'll get her in touch with you guys if y'all are interested.
Awesome.
I was watching her the other night.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. She's awesome, and she's a fighter. We need people like that. We need We need good people out there. We one of the biggest seats that we need to flip this legislative session is Tom Sullivan's seat.
Yeah.
Almost every single anti-gun and anti-liberty bill, even this red flag bill that they just passed through committee the other day that I was up there testifying against, it's his.
Yeah.
He's the co-signer. He is the voice for Moms Demand Action in the Brady campaign.
Yeah.
He is completely bought and paid for. Danielle Limon is running against him. And we need to support her because she has a chance, and she's a good Christian woman who has a chance and knows what she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom is a troublemaker on the Hill.
He is. We need him out.
Yeah.
We need him out. Let's get him out.
So, Teddy, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your race.
Sure.
Let's just give everyone who's listening a little bit of context. As much time as you feel like you need to take, just give us an overview. Who are you? What's your backstory? And what's your plan? What's your goal to be able to try to help this state?
Absolutely. I mean, again, Teddy Collins running for Senate District 4, Mark Baisley's former seat. He's graciously endorsed me for that seat because he's running for federal Senate against Hickenlooper, which I think he's going to win. I truly do, and I wish him the best of luck. Definitely check out Mark Baisley. But I'm the owner and operator of one of the largest family-owned and operated firearms stores in the state of Colorado, and I do say family because it's my wife and myself that own the place and run the place. I'm also an entrepreneur, an investor. I made my success young by the time I was 30 in day trading, real estate, and as a realtor. I've also been a firearms instructor. I instructed a little over a decade, trained a little over 15,000 students in concealed handgun licensing, self-defense. I've been an expert witness. I taught use of force. I've trained church groups and church security teams, school marshals, you name it. That's what I've done. So self-defense in the Second Amendment is definitely a priority in my campaign, but there's a lot of other things that we're seeing in Colorado. But just to give a little bit more about my background, I also serve in a lot of activism roles that are non-paid. So I'm the vice president of industry for the Colorado vice president of industry for the Colorado State Shooting Association, and I'm the vice president of the Colorado Federal Firearms Licensing Association, which represents around 2,400 FFLs in the state of Colorado as their official trade organization. On top of that, I do have a podcast myself called The Second Syndicate. Some of you guys may have seen me in the past. I run it through my Spartan Defense YouTube channel with about 500,000 subscribers. And yeah, I've been up at the Capitol for the last 4 or 5 years fighting for parental rights, fighting against anti-liberty bills, and fighting for tough on crime policies, because at the end of the day, victims' rights matters too, not just criminals' rights, not just criminal reform. Don't get me wrong, I think that's important too, but victims' rights should come first.
Amen.
Plain and simple. As someone who's been victimized of crime myself, that is something I did not see justice in, and nor did my people, nor did my friends, nor did the people involved in that. I plan to get into the legislature. I plan to doge the state, plain and simple, to cut waste, because the amount of tax revenue that Colorado brings in, it doesn't make sense why we're always short on budgets. We used to have a balanced budget. Heck, when I first moved to the state, guys, it's been about a decade, but when I first moved to the state, we had a Republican Senate and we had a Democrat House.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that changed within a couple of years of being here. But what I've seen since it's changed, when I moved here, this state was ranked one of the best states to live in, one of the most prosperous states. Heck, Colorado Springs was ranked either number 1, 2, or 3, depending on which article you went by, for best city to live in and evangelical family capital of the United States. We have now been ranked in almost the worst in every single metric. So what happened in that decade? Well, complete Democrat control and partisan politics is what happened. The Democrats have no checks and balances up in the government. Heck, even if you're a Democrat, you should want a split chamber. You should not want complete one-party rule, because that's how radical ideology gets passed, and that's what we're seeing today. I mean, everything from car thefts to crime to affordability. Affordability is huge, right? I mean, look how unaffordable it's become to live in the state. We're one of the worst in almost every metric, guys. We've got to fix this, and there's ways to do that, and that's getting government out of the way of small businesses and people's income.
That sounded very Ronald Reagan-ish right there. You want to have a successful government? Get government out of the way.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. It needs to happen.
Amen.
I mean, look, when's the last time you went to register your car at the DMV?
2 weeks ago.
Did you look at your bill?
Oh, it hurt.
It hurts.
Oh, it hurt. It
It's one of
hurts
the
every
most
single
expensive
time
in the country.
Yeah.
It's one of the most expensive in the country. Heck, I think they can honestly get more revenue if they cut the fees out, because less people would be avoiding registering their cars. Yeah. I really do. I really do. We'll have to do some research on that, but I'm pretty accurate. And it hurts us that actually have to do it, that want to obey the law and that want to do it. It's insane.
Ted,
it's
the analogy that I give, I'm so glad you just said that. You ever go to a sporting event and they sell $6 bottled water?
Yeah.
I think if they sold it for 2, I think they'd sell 3 times as much.
I agree.
Yeah.
They would sell more to people because people are more likely to buy at the lower price. Agreed.
Yeah. So I think it just relates perfect.
It's volume,
Yeah.
volume based.
Yep.
It's how I do my store. My store is volume based. It's not based on margin. I actually have really low margins and some of the best prices in the state. I even price match across the state, but I do volume. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So small business, I love to hear that. I obviously have some small businesses that we're in the middle of here.
You're an entrepreneur, bro. I'm highly impressed.
Micah
with you.
has small business as well as his wife. Man, the way that the state just bleeds small business is unbelievable.
I'll tell you right now that if I hadn't moved here a decade ago, opened my store 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't be able to open my store in these conditions. In fact, a lot of my members in my trade organization for the Federal Firearms Licensee Association, which, by the way, generally that industry is 60 to 70% veterans as far as who we hire. I mean, I have close to 30 employees, but what we're seeing people decrease employment and or move out of the state. We've actually had about 15% up to 20% of our membership leave the state of Colorado or go out of business. The red tape is insane. I had an employee that ended up leaving the state himself, and I had to replace him during holiday season. Under the new regulations that went into effect in July from the Firearms Dealer Division and from the legislator that they passed last year, it took me 60 days to get them approved for employment for an entry-level position. How is a business supposed to do that and expect somebody for an entry-level position to also wait 60 days to get the job?
Is that we're just so overregulated on everything?
It's insanity. There's no reason to have the amount of regulation, especially on my industry that we have. I already have the ATF to deal with.
Yeah.
Why do I have to deal with the state bureaucracy that over regulates and literally overlaps a federal agency that's already doing it?
Right.
Doesn't make sense. Plus, I got to pay a bunch of additional fees, insurance. The insanity in the state is nuts. I mean, there's so many ways we can make this state more affordable. Sorry, guys, not to keep going or go on a tangent here, but energy is a huge thing in the state of Colorado. Did y'all know that we used to be the 4th largest producer of crude oil?
No.
Yeah. We used to be almost nearly completely energy independent, and we have such an abundance of natural resources in this state. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to protect our wildlife. I want to protect our national and state parks. But at the same time, there's a way to responsibly harvest these resources to bring people's bills down and to bring high-paying jobs into Colorado. And we need to be doing it, from rare earth minerals to mining to anything that we can do, oil and gas, natural gas, geothermal, everything. There are so many ways, nuclear. There are so many ways here in Colorado that we can bring the cost of the average Coloradan down. I mean, did you see that they're talking about banning natural gas to homes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. What do you think is going to happen to energy bills?
Yeah.
And when people can't afford their energy bill in Colorado during the winter, they freeze to death.
Yeah.
They went after fracking.
Yeah.
Now they're going after natural gas.
Yeah.
What comes next? Because there ain't much left.
Natural gas is clean. It's been proven.
Hey, the car you drive,
Yeah.
that awesome looking Tesla, lifted Tesla.
Yeah, it probably does more damage to the environment than.
I wasn't going there, but what I was
I'm
going to
just
say is
saying,
what
strip
fuels it. What fuels it is running on rail cars right now, up and down.
Oh, agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
So
Natural
electric and natural gas power those things.
Correct, because I want to say this: I'm 100% for renewables as well. I believe renewables have their place, but we're not there as a technologically advanced society. We're not there yet in that advancement where we can fully rely on renewables.
Yeah.
We have to keep the cost down to our constituents. We have to make sure people can afford their homes and afford their energy bills and keep themselves warm and keep their kids fed.
Yeah.
Dude, well said. So well said.
Man. So you talked about people in the organization, the firearms organization, leaving because of regs and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. I mean, in a jiu-jitsu gym, I've got members that are like, man, Colorado's just, it's too bad.
They believe it's too late. They believe it's too late.
They believe there's no hope. There's no way somebody else is going to get into office, and it's heartbreaking because some of the best students that we have here,
Sure.
they just get worn out. They get tired. It's like, yeah, no, Colorado is just not a place to raise a family right now.
Let me tell you, there is hope. Me running, I hope that's hope to people. Other people that are running this year, I hope that's hope to people. There are good people out there that are staying in this fight. And I'll tell you, you know this from jiu-jitsu, you know this from law enforcement. When a threat is presented, one of two things happen generally. You also have a third, freeze, but you have fight or flight. Some people flee, and that's what we're seeing with these people. Some people stay and fight. I'm a fighter. I'm not running anywhere. This is my line in the sand. This is my Alamo. I will defend this state, and I will make sure that I get in there and I accomplish change, and I fix this state.
Can you get the likes of a Michael Bennett to come here. I've invited. I've reached. I can't get anybody.
He's scared, and he's milquetoast too. He's not. He is very well controlled and gate kept. You know, 100%. I don't know if we could get someone like that. You know, honestly, you'd probably be able to get Polis easier than Michael Bennett.
I've tried that too. I would love. I've reached out.
Gate kept as well.
Yeah, he has there's 3 gatekeepers on him from what I've learned. I've done a lot of back end on this stuff.
Sure.
It just drives me nuts because it's like people are like, well, you're bringing people on that are saying what you're wanting them to say. That's not it at all. I would love to have somebody come on here.
100%. That's what Charlie did, right? Is he would talk to the other side. He'd have tough conversations. We have to do that because when dialogue stops, people just stay in their echo chamber and it just magnifies and gets worse and worse and worse. We have to be able to talk to the other side. We have to stop demonizing them. We have to understand that they're people too. And we have to have tough conversations.
And I want to, but they, I mean, the bottom line is I want to sit down and have the same conversation with them that we're having with you right now.
Absolutely.
Let people be able to gauge for themselves and judge for themselves, but don't be cowardly about it. Don't hide.
Who was it? Gosh, give me a sec here. Sorry. Gavin Newsom went on with Ben Shapiro, and he also went on with
Sean Ryan.
Sean Ryan. Thank you, buddy. God, I just had
I had Nick.
I know Sean. I watch his show. I don't know. It's early, guys. I apologize. It's been a long week. Been all over the state.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom. There was commentary from somebody else too. I think who's that guy?
The point I was trying to make with that though is they had a respectful conversation, right?
Sure,
that's possible. We need to stop being fearful of talking to the other side. We have to have tough conversations. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I'd echo that.
Yeah.
So, where can people find your campaign, your information, all the things that you're a part of? What's the easiest thing if you can just let everybody who's listening know where to find you, where to connect with you, where to support you on your campaign?
Sure.
Where can people get involved?
Well, biggest thing is, of course, social media. I started recently some new social media pages for the campaign. I've got, of course, a presence on Facebook and X, definitely on X. I'm trying to build that a little bit more right now. But you can also go to collinsforcolorado.com, spelled out. That's COLLINS for FOR, Colorado.com. And you can check me out there. You can do everything from signing up to volunteer, finding out about events that I'm going to be at so you can meet me in person. Heck, you can even call or text me on there. I've got my number on there for my political number, for my personal number on there. Of course, you can donate as well. You know, any donation helps in these fights, guys. And I hate to be a shield for money, but at the same time, without money, I can't win this race. It's going to take supporters. It's going to take people donating even small amounts like $5. Heck, I've got an option for $17.76 because that's what I believe in. You know, donate what you can, guys. Donate what you can. That's my. There's another option, and that's my lowest dollar amount on there, $17.76. But you can go less than that, guys. But go to collinsforcolorado.com. Check me out. If you feel like you believe in the mission that I'm trying to get accomplished here, if you want to help me in that mission, please donate. Please sign up to volunteer. I'm going to need people. My district is massive. It's 8 counties. It stretches across the state. It's one of the biggest Senate districts, if not the largest Senate district geographically. And it's everything from southern Douglas County all the way over to Salida.
Who is your competitor?
I have 2 primary opponents right now. I have one that's a former, I don't know too much about him. I haven't really met him, but he's a former Greg Lopez aide. He's been an aide, a political aide for most of his life, from what I understand. I don't really know him that well. And then I have another lady that just jumped in the race that recently moved to Colorado from Wyoming, and I don't know much about her either. So still learning on these people, but they're still primary opponents. I've got 2. It makes it even tougher race.
Sure.
If I can get through the primary, I'm pretty sure I'll be in office. So support early and support now helps.
Amen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Teddy, it's been awesome having a conversation with you today. And
thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely, sir. And we end every episode with prayer. So
Absolutely.
We can close out or you can close out. It's up to you. But if you're willing to say a prayer.
I will take your prayers and blessings, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lord, thank you for an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation. We love you, and we thank you for all that you've done. We're here for you, Lord. We're only here because of the doors that you've opened. We're only here because of your mercy and your grace. Lord, I pray in your name that you let this episode, this show, and all that we put our hands to do, I pray that you'd help it somehow, some way to glorify you and to lead people to you. At the end of the day, that's all that matters, Lord. I pray, God, that you would help there be an inspiration and an encouragement to those listening out there to seek you first, to seek your face. And I pray, Lord, that you would help us to be motivated and inspired to make eternal investments. look beyond all the noise, all the things that are wrong in this world, and just get to know you and to walk with you. I pray that you would let us begin to walk with you and know you better. And I pray for this world, pray for this country. I pray, Lord Jesus, that you'd heal this land, that you would give us what we need today, our daily bread. Help us not to worry about tomorrow. Help us not to worry about yesterday, but help us to walk today in purpose, and help us to do everything we can today to make this world shine your light in the darkest times, the times whenever it's needed most. I pray in your name, Lord, that you would be with those listening, that you'd be with us as we leave this set today, Lord. I pray that you'd be with Teddy, his family, with Micah, his family, with me, with my family. Be with us, Lord, in all that we do today. I pray, Lord, for your provision, and I pray for protection, and I pray, Lord, that you would let there be somehow, some way, peace that passes all understanding. Let it sweep through this nation. Pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Yes.
Amen. All right. Until next time.
Absolutely, man. Thanks, brother.
Last thing is just for you to sign the wall there, actually.
Colorado's home. It's where we raise our kids, work hard, and pass our values on to the next generation. I'm Teddy Collins, lifelong Republican, father of 2 daughters, podcaster sharing conservative values across our state, and the owner of one of the largest family-owned and operated firearms businesses in the state of Colorado. Everything I do is about protecting our families and the Colorado we're leaving for our kids. Parents, not government, should raise their children. That means protecting girls' sports, girls' spaces, and making schools hard targets to keep our children safe. I've spent over 15 years training responsible gun owners and defending the Second Amendment. I serve as the Vice President of Industry for the Colorado State Shooting Association. You can learn more about my work and background defending your rights at collinsforcolorado.com. Law-abiding citizens are not the problem, and the Second Amendment is not negotiable. Too much power has been taken from local communities and handed to bureaucrats in Denver who don't live here and don't understand us. Decisions should be made by the people who call this place home, not dictated to us from the Gold Dome. I've spent the past 4 years actively fighting at the Capitol, testifying on bills, advocating for your rights, and making sure lawmakers know who I am and what I stand for. I'm not a career politician. I'm an entrepreneur, a father, a conservative who believes in faith, family, freedom, and accountability, and I like to call myself a statesman. Colorado has gone soft on crime. Criminals should fear consequences, not be protected by politicians. Law and order works, and victims deserve justice. Families are being crushed by taxes and fees and red tape. Small businesses built Colorado, but government micromanagement is killing opportunity. Tabor was meant to protect taxpayers, not be bypassed. Water is our lifeblood in District 4. Local communities should control their own water and resources, not bureaucrats in Denver. Colorado is blessed with natural resources, and we should be unleashing our natural gas, oil, and rare earth minerals responsibly, creating good-paying jobs, energy independence for a stronger future. Learn more about me, my work, and my campaign at collinsforcolorado.com. Vote Teddy Collins, and together, let's make Colorado great again. Thank you.
That I live, not just something I say. That's a day